So, welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark, and this is Mark from
Banger.
So of course,
I don't have a channel anymore.
Before, obviously, Invincible Asia, we were doing the Celluloid Misfits, and this is the kind of shit that we did. I've put some of our old audiovisual commentaries out there so you could kind of get a warm up as to what we're going to be doing, and hopefully we're going to return to that a bit more often, all being well. So today we are going to kick off with Women on the Run, 1993 Cat 3 movie, which I just adore. You've never seen it, so this is going to be something hopefully a bit shocking in a good way, but also surprise you with how exciting it actually is. This is the Media Asia release, Megastar release. If you have it, please join in. It's 89 minutes in length. Hopefully we'll be able to cover it all and know what we're talking about. Yes, it comes with Cantonese, Mandarin and English
You've only just realised
audio. I've only just realised it has an English audio option, which I'll never watch, but it's good to know. And of course English subtitles, which is great. So yes, let's get started, and we are going to hit play.
Good to have me back.
It's great to have you back.
Thanks.
It is. Can't wait for us to get talking about Hong Kong movies and Asian cinema. It's just something I think I've missed anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been your comfort blanket.
Yeah, exactly.
And you needed it back.
Sometimes he's just there in the background watching through the window and stuff. But don't forget, folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video, and all that jibber jabber. And thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. Anyway, let's get started. I am just going to hit play now.
Awesome.
Just warming up. There we go. DVD. There we are.
Here we are.
Media Asia.
Yes.
Okay, I'll turn this up so you can set your movie to it.
Ooh,
there we go. Pretty. So I'll try and keep the sound a wee bit lower just so we know. And I'll just pop my notes.
Oh, do you know what this reminds me of? You know the Carol Co. opening?
Carol Co?
Yeah, you know Carol Co. that did they distributed RoboCop and Terminator.
Yeah.
They had this liney thing.
Yes, I know what you mean now. I was thinking for a second there, you know the one at the end of Murder, She Wrote, where he's typing and he flings the... he pulls the page out.
Angela Lansbury in the Cat 3, that I would pay to see.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
I could.
Justice Society?
Oh!
No, I imagine. Do you imagine...
America rip off everything.
Like a 90s Hong Kong version of the Justice League?
Yeah, absolutely. The Justice Society.
They might do it right. I do have a film I would like to share with you that is set in ancient China, and it's a soccer game from ancient China, but also the X-Men are in it and the Avengers are in it, and it's quite a fucked up movie.
Jeez.
But you might enjoy it, you never know.
So give me a rundown before this starts. Who have we got in this?
Women in the Run. Okay, so this is produced and directed and stars Corey Yuen Kwai, who you know of, and David Lai, who he often co-directed with or co-produced with in quite a lot of stuff. Savior of the Soul, things like that. But the two women here on the front cover, this is their debut movie. Of course, I did pick English subtitles, and now they're not there. Let me just get this on. There we go. So yeah, this is kind of this is 1993 production. One of the girls here is quite an amazing kung fu mistress, but then she gets forced into prostitution. And then there's the other lady who's, I want to say, a wee bit older. And she's kind of portrayed as a wee bit older in the movie. Okay. She is a cop, an undercover cop. And she's kind of sent in to help her, go after her. From what I can remember, it's been a good 10 years since I've last watched this.
Okay.
But both of them basically...
They were jealousing?
They were jealousing. I mean, the subtitles are going to crack you up whenever you see them. But they both fall in love with the wrong people, and they both go
Don't we all?
down the line with down.
Well,
the line
you don't.
with- I
You're very
don't. I've
happily
had
married.
a wonderful marriage. Touch wood. But
Yeah.
anyway, yes, they basically fall into affairs, and
Okay.
then before they're found out, their men kind of do the dirt on them and make their lives a lot worse. But when I first saw this, I saw a clip of this in an Eastern Heroes video magazine.
Okay.
So Eastern Heroes did 2 editions of the video magazine. They ran for about 3 hours in length, but
Wow.
1.5 of those hours was
It's a very impractical way to write
it's a really ridiculous way, but it was very much like here's a bonus movie at the end, but here's an hour and a half of our video magazine. Really good
Wow.
idea, really good to see. Lots of interviews, clips from movies, people like ourselves talking about them, some of whom have went on to star in many Hong Kong movies that were a part of those interviews. So this is where I first saw a clip for Women on the Run, and I had no idea what movie it was. I had no idea where it came from. I just kind of one day came across Women on the Run, not literally, and
Happened across. Come across 2 women on the run.
as they're having sex on a really large mattress.
And that has the largest springs I've ever seen.
I know, it took
She's
me-
kind of having sex like I have sex, like looking totally bored. Yeah. It's like checking the watch, and like Jane Fonda in Clit when she's like looking at the watch thinking, fuck, is this time ever going to end?
So here she is, obviously in her prostitution stages here,
Yeah.
with a really bad wig. I'm guessing it's a bad wig because she had lovely hair a second ago.
She had gorgeous hair a minute ago. Although they could have just curled that.
They might have curled it and tied up the back like a mullet. You never know. But of course, she's brought her kung fu trophies and things like that. So, of course,
Oh, here she go. You
what you've got to remember. Look,
Woo! My God, I just seen right up her snatch.
well, that's what they literally call a split kick.
I can see why. Because you need to have a split there to be able to do
To
that.
lift your leg like that.
My God.
Yes. So she can obviously look after herself. Why she needs to be forced into prostitution
Yeah.
kind of always confused me.
It almost seems a little. Yes, he's like treating her like shit here,
But she obviously
but she can clearly take care of herself.
Yeah.
And she's just literally kicked a guy through a door.
exactly.
So, but
she,
so
I think because she loves him,
okay, and needs money.
which is even more confusing. If you love someone like that and they treated you like this, would you really? I mean, I know there's a massive. Well,
Well,
not go down
that's
the
it.
road of
That's
the
a
psychological side of it.
conversation. Yeah.
But yes,
You kind of think with these films that they're not actually thinking. Whenever I watch a film like this and it's so over the top ridiculous, I kind of feel, did they even really think like, oh yeah, she's a kung fu fighter? And but clearly there is a deeper meaning
there
behind
is,
everybody's
of
writing.
course,
So
of course there is. Now,
this
saying
is-
that, there's a lot of Hong Kong movies that are just thrown out there, and a lot of Wong Jing movies, especially, that are kind of like written while he's at the toilet, and then and then made, but very successfully. But yeah, there is elements of these movies that you have to kind of question. Not so much when I watched it the first time because I just took it for what it was.
yeah,
But of course, being older now,
you do tend to look into things a bit
You
more.
kinda do,
I
sort
find
of.
that whenever I'm rewatching things back, the older I get, the more I'm kind of like seeing the
the
core of what's
wrongness,
actually
yeah.
going on.
But
You
I
know.
don't think when they were putting this together,
They
writing
were
it, I don't think that was a case of them thinking that they were doing wrong. So
This
there's
is
obviously
Corey
finger-
Yuen actually going back to his days when he was forced into prostitution.
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Absolutely.
So obviously he's keeping her fed with drugs, and that is a part of.
Well, this is
what's
okay.
hooking
So
her
this
on.
is this is what's keeping her there. She's addicted. She's being coerced. She
Yeah.
feels like she can't escape, even though she could literally kill every man.
She could, and this is the
in
guy
the
she
room.
rode away with on the bike,
Oh.
thinking that she was, going to spend the rest of her days happy as a happily married woman. But no, he was bringing her away to basically for. She's supposed to be.
I wonder if her
teenager.
family knew. She's supposed to be 17 years of age
Yeah.
here, so I wonder if her family knew. I wonder if this is like part of
Look,
this. Is
There
that
he
him?
is cheating. Yeah.
Dirty bastard. That's it. Take all your drugs. Where's she putting them?
In her arm.
Oh, it's heroin. Oh,
I can't
Christ.
do needles.
No, we know that.
Ugh.
Fuck, she's hardcore. My
She
God.
is hardcore. I mean.
Sorry, I don't recognize this.
camera.
I won't.
So
I
you-
don't recognize these actors or actresses at all.
Yes, a lot of them are not fresh face to me, but these two ladies, as I said, that were in the that are on the cover. For example, this is their debut role, and
Right.
fuck if I've ever seen a more powerful debut performance from both of them. This is the movie that highlights why these two women should have been bigger.
Do you know names? Do we know names?
So yes, I do have my little list beside me because, as I say, it's been some time. Oh jeez.
Oh fuck!
Well, that was a kick and a half.
Wasn't 12, was it?
Well, it was a kick and a half.
Well, okay.
So this one here that we've seen, who just murdered her boyfriend, Tamara Guo. Tamara Guo. So this is her first role, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Women on the Run was her first role, followed by Tears and Triumph. Now, be interesting to see if that she went from this into another Cat 3 movie. No, that was from Raymond Wong, also with Anita. Okay, so this was kind of like her first big film, and for Corey Yuen and David Ly to take on two fresh sort of new actors, and you'll know what I mean when you watch the whole thing and put them in such powerful roles, because this just gets bonkers.
Okay.
Bonkers. But
Is this
it
the
was
other person?
No, this is her.
Oh, this is her. So she's okay.
So the hair's back, the long
The
hair's
lovely
back.
hair's back. Love it. She's still prostituting.
She's still
in Hong Kong.
prostituting, but
Okay.
she's still an action woman at heart, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then she went on to star in Ghost House, Techno Warriors, it seems here, which is a Phil Coe movie that we should check out, and Ghost Promise. Not much. So from 1993 to 2000, literally 5 or 6 movies.
Wow.
And that is it. But when you see her
Shocking,
throughout
though,
this,
isn't it?
you'll wonder why.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't we seen more?
Well, even just from an acting standpoint, I mean, watching her so far, I mean, we know that whenever we watch these films, that the acting is never going to be, like, quality. For, quality, what I mean is when we watch actors in the East, it's all very method, it's all
Yes.
very, it's done with a real purpose. The actors really are getting into a role.
Yep.
Whenever we watch Asian action films, the acting doesn't need to be fantastic.
No.
Because really what we're watching is the action, and she's literally sat on that bench the whole night.
whole
Oh my god,
night.
like, my arse would be numb. But
But that's
from
the
what
thing,
I've seen
yeah.
of her so far, even getting into an emotional state, it's not easy for anybody, even an amateur, to find emotion.
No.
It's not easy for someone to do that. So for her to come into this, to take on a role that's maybe a bit more complex than we're actually giving it credit for.
Oh, absolutely.
For her to pull that off,
Absolutely.
you know,
So
is
this
quite
is
good.
our second actress. So she's
Okay.
listed as Farini Chung.
Farini?
Chung Yuling, who, again, I believe is her first role.
Okay.
She's been on to star in 29 movies.
So she's had a
so
bit
she's
more
done
lucrative than
a bit
Tamara.
more. Some of which I have seen there, but she went on to star in a lot more other Cat 3 movies, such as The Rapist, Diary of a Serial Killer, 1am, but loads of other stuff like Mac the Knife with Tony Leung, Born to be Wild, Once Upon a Time in Trial Society, Option Zero, and she made her last movie in 2009. I think it was Johnny Toe's Vengeance. Yeah,
Right, okay.
Johnny Toe's Vengeance with Johnny Halliday.
Oh.
I know. So yeah, she's done quite a bit more, and 2046 for Wong Kar-wai as well.
Oh, 2046?
Yeah.
Great movie.
I think it was probably one of his better art house movies.
Yes.
Probably my favourite art house movie. But yeah, so she's obviously a cop coming to try and get her down, but pretending that she's doing the same thing. And,
Yeah.
But you can't beat a bamboo scaffolding fight.
No, you cannot. I mean, this literally makes my day.
So you'll find, obviously, in multiple Hong Kong movies, we see a great one in Blonde Fury, Lady Reporter, that was just released from Eureka.
Yeah.
And again, the late Brad Allen kind of paid homage to that in Shang-Chi, when he choreographed the action in Shang-Chi.
okay,
And we
yeah.
got a fantastic scaffold fight in that, an incredible scaffold fight in that. But this kind of shit is you don't have the budget of Shang-Chi for these kind of things, you know?
No.
Oh, jeez
So
Louise.
people are, I mean,
This
my
is
God.
what... I mean, this is why you need someone like Corey Yuen behind
For safety
this movie.
reasons.
Well, for safety, but experience in creating such a wild scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty wild. Regardless if, yes, they were obviously stunt double for some of those falls, I'd imagine, but they're still getting beaten and battered about the bamboo as they're doing it. But again, so this, for me, both of these girls, when I first saw this, I thought that they were legitimately in the business for a good 10 years because they do such a wonderful job. But I did have it on video. The DVD wasn't the first time, excuse me, the first time that I had this. Tension. But I also first got it on a bootleg video.
Okay.
So I did. And it was a bit of a dodgy video quality. Obviously copied
As
from
they
a
are,
copy. Bought from a private collector at the back of Impact Movie Magazine in the 90s. And that was the first time that I'd ever seen it. It's just got a good stretch on that leg, doesn't she?
Oh my God.
Oh, he's just coming in to fix her. I totally forgot about that.
I mean, this is...
It's not like it's not, I mean, it's
Let
not...
me just suck all the blood out of your knee.
Yeah, but it's not venom.
No, it's not.
Should,
Which
like-
makes it kind of weird.
Well, it's
like a fetish
sexual
thing,
kind of,
isn't it?
yeah, and that's the other side of this movie. You know, it is hardcore action for a lot of it, but there is the sex side and the drama involved. But again, that's what I love about Hong Kong movies. There's such a crazy mix that a lot of people in the West can't handle. People want it to be just
It's
a
probably
comedy.
not that they can't
or
handle.
just-
Yes, okay, yeah. But I also think it's a case of they wouldn't get it.
Two directors there, Corey and David Lang.
Yeah. I just don't think they get it. Like,
Yeah.
Asian cinema is just very, like, wild. Probably because they got away with a lot. I mean, you've told me before, which is something that I never knew, is that they just, you know, went out into the street and
Just did it.
did shit. And
Yeah.
then if they got caught, then just moved on to somewhere else.
Yeah,
and, you know,
yeah.
it's like, you would not get away with that in the States. Plus,
Absolutely not.
you know,
and
health
even
and
here,
safety and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, even here,
even
yeah.
here
I mean,
now,
Jesus.
I mean, I know I went out and did it like that, but I think because of the amount of Hollywood productions going on here now, there'd be more people aware of it, and there'd be more people on your case
Yes.
to say no,
Yeah.
basically. But yes, Corey looks very young from a lot of the movies I've seen him in recently. But of course, Corey, you know him. He's directed
Yes.
a number of Hollywood movies like Romeo Must Die. He actually did, of course, the first and second No Retreat, No Surrender,
Yeah.
which was some of his earliest US productions,
Yeah.
or Hong Kong US productions. And Dead or Alive, DOA,
Yeah.
he did that as well.
As in with like Holly Valance?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, which I still think
Crazy.
is a fun movie. Like, it's a silly kind of...
It is. It's just the
Popcorn
actors that they
movie.
got to be
Yeah,
in it.
it's a very bizarre choice of actors.
Devon Aoki was okay, like, because, you know, I think she's kind of cool. But
She
like
did-
Holly
yeah, she
Valance
did, yeah.
and Jamie King.
There
Or was
was-
it Jamie
yeah,
King? Or no,
was-
it was... no, it was...
The blonde cowboy girl? Cowgirl?
Yes, it was not Jamie King. I forget her name now. She was in My Name is Earl.
Oh,
But I forget her name
yes,
now.
totally forget.
Yeah.
Won Jin, there's the man himself.
One Jin.
The little short Korean guy. Scorpion King. Did you ever see
Oh.
Operation Scorpion or the Scorpion King with
With
Chingar
The
Lock?
Rock?
And it was a Hong Kong Legends
Oh,
release.
sorry. No.
It was, okay,
With The Rock.
that's a good movie that we should go back to.
Okay,
That's where he kind of got that nickname of the Scorpion King. And he does this incredible scorpion kick that he brings his back leg. He gets down like a scorpion, but he brings his back leg or his leg back over his head, kind of thing. Pretty cool. But he is one of the main villains in this. So, of course, both of these girls will eventually get to trade kicks with him. And he
Okay.
is a phenomenal, phenomenal kicker. But yeah, so now this is the setup. Now they're going to be using her to go with the other girl and try and take him down.
Right.
But yeah, so Corey Yuen has done a number of Hollywood. I would say Corey Yuen's done as much Hollywood stuff as Yuen Woo-ping has. And of course, Corey grew up in the same school as Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Yuen Biao.
Yeah.
But also went and did a lot of sort of mid to late 70s kung fu movies with Yuen Woo-ping. So he worked with him for a long time as he was kind of just coming into popularity with Jackie's Drunken Master, all that kind of thing. But they did a lot of other movies together. And he was often mistaken as one of the Yuen clan, one of the Yuen brothers, where he wasn't. He was called Yuen after his master from the school. So he was. Much like Yuen Biao, Yuen Wah, Yuen Mu.
Yeah.
I think Yuen Mu's in this as a stuntman as well, or an extra. But I've always enjoyed Corey Yuen as an actor. Love him as a director, but always enjoyed him as an actor because he's an amazing martial artist. When you see him in the 70s kung fu stuff, he is phenomenal. But as he got older, he just kind of stopped moving so much. And stuck with the directing and the dramatic acting. But he usually plays it very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Which is always fun to see, always good to see. And I just like seeing him pop up. Hong Kong movies, as you know, use the same people over and over and over again. Even if there's sequels, there's the same people coming back as different characters. But I mean, I just love it. I think it's a who's who for the most of it.
I'm probably being such like a small business at that time. I mean, it's a big business, but
it was a fast business.
But yeah, that's it. It was just you know,
the turnaround in getting these productions out. Like, I mean,
so if
there's probably no length of time in how quickly this was shot and made. You know. Here we go.
It's always I always find it such a brave move for especially like an actor to. Particularly a female actor, because I think they become judged more off of what they do, especially when it comes to representation of sexuality.
Absolutely.
I think it's an incredibly brave move for somebody who's maybe never acted before or never done anything to come onto a set and to expose
that old film.
I know, Jesus Christ. And to expose himself in a much more graphic way than an American audience would do. I mean,
absolutely.
You wouldn't see an American actress unless it's Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls.
Well,
you know, showing that so much of you know, of their body. It's incredibly courageous.
But, and this is probably what happened to Tamara. Did I say her name was? Tamara Gu. The same thing happened with Shu Kei. She started as a Cat 3 actress.
Yes.
But people then claimed that she was in a porn.
Yeah.
And that kind of halted her career for a bit, and she had to kind of get over that. And now she's a phenomenal.
She's like everywhere now.
One of the most bankable stars in China, and I think that's maybe what happened with Tamara. And although she's went on to do more movies,
it's probably stopped her from reaching the level of like mainly Carrie Oshman, Michelle Yeoh standard of like.
And again,
action.
when you see them in a real big hardcore fight here, you'll be surprised as to why they weren't considered to be.
But I usually always am. I mean, it comes down to every actress that I see in all of these films. You know, the actors, yes, fantastic, but we always come back to the argument that men do have it better in nearly every society and every part of the world. It always amazes me that so many of these actresses, or female actors, sorry, we'll not call them actresses, we'll call them female actors, never went on to more international stardom, whereas a lot of the men did. Jet Li did, Jackie Chan, Corey Yuen, Yuen Woo-ping, you know, they all went on to become internationally well known. You know, the likes of Min Lee, Carrie Oshman, unless you watch these kind of films, you don't know who it is. Anita Lau, isn't it? Anita Lau?
Anita Mao. Anita Moy.
Anita Moy.
Yes,
Anita
Elaine Loy.
Yeah, I get confused.
I was listening to an old podcast and
we did. Yeah,
you did the exact same thing.
It happens every time. But like all them they're so great at what they do, and they never became internationally recognized for the skill that they have.
But then again, I don't know. Is that really a good thing or not? Because yes, they've got an audience with us and fans like us, but did they want? I mean, look, I think when Jackie got into Hollywood, I think it ruined him.
In the respect of.
In the respect of they just didn't know how to handle him. They didn't know what to give, what vehicle actually really worked. Rush Hour is not a great movie. Rush Hour is a lot of fun,
Yeah.
but it's not a great movie. And I think that Hollywood period, that 10 years in Hollywood, really started to, like, you saw a different Jackie then.
Yeah.
And then they took all of his old work and they re-edited it into really shit edits.
Yeah.
And kind of put them out there. And then, I mean, I remember seeing one of their edits of Project A and being so heartbroken and disappointed that this is not the version I was used to.
Yeah.
And they shit all over it. And I feel that that's the thing. They don't, like Stanley Tong, who directs Jackie in a lot of movies, and obviously made it big with Rumble in the Bronx, and then produced Martial Law with Sammo Hung, etc. His first Hollywood movie, as such, then became Mr. Magoo. They gave him
Mr. Magoo was his first Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Because they knew it would be a dud. They knew it would crash. They knew that he wouldn't really get hired in Hollywood as a director anymore. Do you know? That's how I saw it anyway. It probably never. It probably never was that.
Marijuana.
Yeah, she needs some sort of
She
hit.
needs a hit here.
But that's what I mean. I don't think Hollywood really then. Maybe today they're giving them a wee bit more flexibility and a bit more freedom.
Well, here's the thing: we are seeing a resurgence in the popularity of, especially Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
From Everything Everywhere All at Once
I
kind
mean,
of came out. She's now
phenomenal.
everywhere. American Born Chinese on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
She's getting roles in, tons of films now. Whereas there was a long time there where she wasn't really doing anything very popular.
No, exactly.
She kind of went through her Bond girl phase and the Crouching Tiger phase, then kind of dimmed
and then there was
away
a lot
again.
of dramas like Sunshine and The Children of Hong Shi and things like that. There's a lot of drama.
Yeah, like working with Danny Boyle and yeah.
Yeah, but
And
not
doing The Lady and
She's
stuff.
got the
It's
seat out.
just, Jesus.
But yeah, The Lady was fantastic, but still not. That was all about her acting. It wasn't
Yes, it was.
her as the action actress we all love. This is mental.
This is incredible.
I mean, I tried to do this when we were out in Hong Kong, but I was told off. It's the kind of shit
I tried to run on the
you
roof of
want to
buildings.
do whenever you
yes.
visit and pass these kind of
It's
places.
the kind of shit that I want to do on a daily basis
Yeah,
anyway. I mean, I probably could have done this when I was like 13 years of age, but
Yeah, well,
not now as a
We could give it a go.
34-year-old.
We should watch these movies and do our commentary, and then go out and try and reenact some of these scenes.
Okay. Just for comedy value?
Just for comedy value.
We'll do it.
We'll put it on the air.
We'll do it.
Parkour.
You haven't run that for parkour.
But these, of course, these two now have got to learn to work with each other,
Yes.
right? Oh, I think she's going to chuck her in, is she? Let me save you! Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
That was well placed, though, that cushion, because she might have cracked her head off that wall the way she went down.
Yeah.
I don't know swimming.
Is that what that said? I didn't even read that there.
Of course, we're so used, that's the thing, though, we're so used with these boutique labels giving us newly translated,
Exactly, yes.
perfect subtitles
Yes.
almost.
Which probably aren't a direct these are probably direct translation
Yeah.
of what they're actually saying.
Yeah. Automated almost.
Mm.
But, I mean, sometimes they're hilarious, and there's even older ones that are just, they're dreadful. I do have a book somewhere there that has a page or four of subtitles that are so bad.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
they put them in, it's fantastic. But again, this is a movie that I think, like 88 are going down the road of a lot of Cat 3 stuff at the moment.
Yes, they have
And
been doing a lot of like Cat 3.
I would love them to follow up with the likes of the Sex and Zen trilogy. Women on the Run, I feel, would be a really strong title, especially having Corey Ewan behind it,
Yeah.
and maybe some Sean Longmore artwork on there. I can see it. I think it would look
visualize that.
absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But there's so many more.
Tamara's split kick
So
on
many.
the.
Could you imagine
That would be
somebody's
incredible.
head covering it?
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Or just maybe
I
not.
mean, we have-
Just, there's one.
We
Yeah.
have boobs on the erotic ghost story
Yeah.
one, so why not?
And Vinegar Syndrome do a lot of these like Italian horrors where there's like
That's
the
right.
JJs on the front and
Yeah.
yeah. So why not?
I mean, I think if it's
We're in 2023, people. We
Exactly.
know what pussy looks like.
We've seen it.
We've seen it.
We've seen
You've
it.
seen more than I have.
I was sleeping. But no, I think being boutique labels as well, though, they can kind of get away with a wee bit more.
Yeah.
Especially Vinegar Syndrome, they tend to create a lot of their own, I guess, edgy artwork.
Yes.
Whereas
They do go down that road.
Eureka and Idiot are very focused on kind of selling it as an action piece.
That's how I reach for my figs. On a night out, whenever I'm drunk, I'm
holding on to the bar.
That's what I do. I literally do that. Just chuck me a fig and a lighter.
Oh, come on. How's she going to light a fig?
She's going to break that. Now, that's a waste. If she
That's
does
a
this, I'll
waste.
be amazed. I'm going to try it,
she's
actually.
doing it.
Oh, I thought she was going to light it with her eyelids or something. That's what I thought was coming there.
Dragon whip.
Yeah.
But again, these don't look like amateur actresses, right?
They honestly really do not look like they are amateurs. They really genuinely look like well, I mean, they are professionals because they're working in a film, but they do look like they have experience. But for a first...
Perhaps they have got other credits before this that were more independent based or television credits. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But
it's something that's actually I find very hard to find, especially with a lot of Asian actors. If they do a lot of Asian television shows, it's very hard to find those credits.
Yeah.
For them listed on
Definitely.
it.
I mean, there's a couple of sites there that are starting to pull them together, but yes, it is very, very tricky. That's why I always kind of, when I'm writing about them or reviewing them, I'll always say about feature films.
Yes.
As opposed to their television.
Yeah.
So we're going to come up here to the action scene with Won Jin, the Scorpion King here, who the clip that I saw from the Eastern Heroes video magazine that just was like, holy shit, what is this film? I've got to find out what this film is. He looks like a drag queen there, doesn't he?
Looks like he's auditioning for Farewell My Concubine.
Yeah.
Right around his face.
And again, I'm just looking at the quality of the DVD. It's not terrible.
Actually,
but
still. I was just about to reference this.
Yeah.
For it looks like from the cover, bootlegged.
Yes, it really does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
However, the quality is fantastic.
It is. It's not bad at all, and it's not too dusty or grainy or anything like that.
Cleaning this up would actually be incredibly easy.
I think so.
But it's whether or not they can obviously get their hands on the original negatives. That's the problem, isn't it?
That's very, very true.
But can they clean it up from disc to disc? Could they clean it up from this onto...
So,
because I think that you can, 4K resolute,
absolutely.
this kind of thing, right?
It would take a lot longer, perhaps.
Probably.
But I think so. A lot of these people here, here he goes, into action. But a lot of these stunt men and extras here, I can recognise certain faces of the time. But I just can't wait to see him. There we go, into his kicks. Oh, here's the clip here. Boom!
Wow.
I mean, once I had first caught that, and I was like, what is this movie? There was because they didn't subtitle what clips were being shown, you know? But he was just a phenomenal kicker. And then, of course, I learned that he was in the Scorpion King, or Operation Scorpio. Nice wee move with the scarf. But I think he's really, really short.
Oh, really? Like he's teeny tiny?
Like, maybe below 5 foot, maybe just 5 foot. But still lethal.
And it's also interesting that it doesn't look like a massive production, because they're probably not.
Nope.
They probably didn't have a lot of. But my God, precision choreography when it comes to fight scenes. I mean, you can always see that no matter what, the fight scenes are choreographed to utter perfection.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is something, I don't know whether you've noticed it as well. I don't know whether this is like an Asian thing or whatever, but I'm noticing it more in time. There's another needle doing it. Well, it's a drug thing. So George, you're watching a movie about literally people who are taking drugs. So, but I notice it comes across in J-pop, K-pop, Asian cinema. Everything that is done with purpose,
Yeah.
with precision. Like, it's all
refined.
it's
everything.
incredibly refined.
Yeah.
Not to a fault, because I think that it looks sensational.
Mm-hmm.
But even, I mean, I'm sure that this lighting, they didn't just throw this light in the background and be like, here's a light.
Like,
there is so much purpose.
I love the lighting in Hong Kong movies.
It's beautiful. I love it too.
There's a lot of scenes in Splash Area that I did in the Nut House where I went back to reference some movies and colour that, you know, you'll see a scene in certain Hong Kong movies where there's about 4 different colours, but all the lighting is what the trick is, and it's gorgeous.
And they try to represent that replicate that, in, like, you see it, like, whenever they did, like, Mortal Kombat, you know, the Ascension of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Those 95, what year was Mortal Kombat? 95? Was it 95?
95.
And they tried to replicate that, like, kind of that similar lighting.
Yeah, indeed.
And they did it incredibly well, actually. You know, they really did. But there's
again,
so much.
and you see it even more today in the John Wick movies and things like that. So
yes,
you know,
heavily influenced by
absolutely.
Asian cinema.
Oh my God, incredibly so. And that's what I think is amazing. Yes, we see in the last decade or two that influence from Hong Kong cinema being used in Hollywood and perfected to become their own style. But you know, I still will always go back to these kind of mid-90s and before of Hong Kong movies, because that's where it started for me. That's where it all came from, you know.
Yes, it's very individualist as well. You know, there's a lot of things about these films that are so recognizably obviously Asian. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean that in a way of, the actors are all Asian.
Yes.
You could have an American production where the actors are all Asian, and it's an American production very clearly.
It looks like it.
Of course, it's too polished.
Absolutely. These
are much more authentically done, but there is such a... It's so structured. I mean, everything just seems very placed with purpose.
Yeah.
Every shot, every kick, every move, every fall, it all is very... Yeah, you know, everything is done so well.
Beautifully captured.
And it's such a shame that more people don't recognise it. But again, when you're living in a Western society and you don't have access to a lot of this stuff, you know, whenever you're having to maybe in the 80s go to the video store or go to, you know, get it on the Eastern, whatever it was.
Eastern Heroes or Impact Movie Magazine. Yeah, I mean, that's where I got a lot of my stuff from, bootleggers, private collectors.
But you wouldn't find those nowadays.
You
private collectors.
But then at the same time, there was such a look at that. I mean, this is Splash Area.
Stunning.
This is the lighting I wanted to capture, and I did capture using wooden pallets.
Oh, okay.
And smoke machines and light. That's exactly what I wanted to kind of do. Look at it.
Yeah.
Thinks he's groping her and it's an orange. Oh, for goodness sake. Bit of an opium den then, I take it? Or...
It looks like, we're gonna have another needle here.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all through the pipe.
Opium.
Oh, she's loving it. Of course she is.
She's right in there. She's not wasted a second.
She just said, I'm not thinking about drugs. I don't need drugs anymore. She's like,
excuse me, fixing myself.
Yep.
George can put a wee smiley over that later. In editing.
Maybe a wee bunch of flames.
Or a wee aubergine or something, you know.
A wee aubergine.
It'll be
it's gorgeous.
Stunning, beautiful lighting.
But again, imagine that restored.
I'm really yes, beautifully. It would look absolutely sensational restored. But I'm hyper focused on the performances here of the two leads.
And
I'm trying to really, get myself.
But she's amazing. Like
it's incredible watching
so
the two
flexible,
of them.
Yeah. And again, if this is to be their first roles, fantastic.
They picked well.
Raging that they didn't go on to do much more bigger stuff.
I mean, even if it was remained in Cat 3 of these two had it become like Cat 3 superstars, you would have understood why, because for debut performances there's a lot actually going on. It's not, I mean, you'll know working with actors from making your own films. Whenever you... Oh, God, where is he? He's in another world.
He's gone.
Is he dead?
No. He's just in a sleep.
you know that
Yeah.
working with actors, there's an awful lot that you know they're whenever you're placing them in a scene. I suppose on stage as well. I mean, it's the same. You know, having done amateur dramatics, you know, you've got to know where you're standing, where your light is,
Yeah.
all of that thing.
Yeah.
But whenever you're an actor, especially on screen, you can't raise your hand too high or it goes out of shot, and then it's like
Yes.
we've got to do that again. You can't kick this. You've got to. It's so precision ready for these girls to be able to do that.
Here we go.
Happy days back
Now
into
we get
that.
to,
Another
now we
action
get to
film.
see them doing what I've been talking about,
Yeah,
and they're incredible. Like she just
She's
wants more.
wiped
She
off her
just
tits.
wants more trucks. Jesus, lovely. Oh,
beautiful. She's got what she wanted.
Yes.
She got the open pipe.
like basically, here's your spinach.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying. Here's your spinach.
And now she's going to go into beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
And again, this is what I.
So this isn't Tamara. This is the other one
is
fighting
Joan,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
Farina Chun.
Fantastic.
And she is great. And I think
Wonderful
I
movie.
feel with her. I don't know if you know who I mean, but there's quite a bit of Bridget Lynn. in her.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
yes.
god! Do you see it? Like
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
A young Bridget, I think, from the kind of sort of mid-80s Bridget. She
Yeah.
looks just like her.
Here she goes. Happy days.
Fuck, she's amazing. I honestly, I wish.
See, whenever fucking.
wish I'd seen more of her. Or we had seen more of her. Like I wish
Yes.
she'd done so much more.
She's got ferocity.
Oh,
She's got the
absolutely.
moves. She has. Wow! Incredible.
Beautiful.
I love when
Why
cops
is
come
this
in.
movie not bigger?
Why is this
you
movie
know?
not bigger? Like, my
Exactly.
god.
This should be a genuine Hong Kong classic.
But you look at this, right, and you can see, like, you think of the, isn't it, wasn't there a scene in one of the John Wick movies where they did, like, a hallway fight, or what was that
Yeah.
film? Was it The
When
Raid
you
or
had
something?
Old Boy and you had the
Oh,
Raid.
oh,
and the
yes,
whole-
yeah.
yeah.
Where they're doing, like, these hallway fights, and you're like,
This is the new thing, right?
It
Everyone
is,
has to
right.
have this sort of.
but look at this here,
she's
I mean,
amazing.
my god.
This is one of the greatest hallway fights. Oh fuck.
Look, Jesus.
That's gotta hurt. I mean, if you hit your lip by accident,
Ow.
but if a rope burns you and pulls you
Oof.
through a window, yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Nice.
Oh, she got roped into that.
Oh, George.
But again, look
The
at that line.
puns, Jesus.
I love the angles too. It's a very comic book shot.
Yeah.
With a lot of the fight scenes are very much like taken from a comic book, aren't they? But again, what I was going to say was with Korean directed movies or fight scenes, there's always a wee hint of humor in there, and you could see that with some of it. As much as she was going kind of full psycho on them,
Yeah.
she was kind of doing it while enjoying herself while doing it.
Yeah.
You know, there was still a bit of a smile from her. But again, I just can't get over the fact that they didn't do so much more.
It's always really when you get those fight scenes. It's kind of like I wish, you know, you wouldn't waste so much time with plot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, especially when
what
it's a
they can
cat
do.
free. It's kind of like
Exactly.
don't waste time with plot. We want to see more of the movements. We
Yep.
want to see what you're capable of.
Absolutely. So this is obviously him again, Wonjin. You can tell he's a wee tiny man, right? Like,
She's having to lean down.
especially surrounded. Yeah, she looks like really. I think she's down a couple of steps. Look at that lighting again.
Mm-hmm.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. They are funny. I know he did another movie when he was younger, actually, called, I think it was like, it's been released here as one of the Thunder Ninja Kids movies.
Okay.
I can't remember his genuine title, but he was kind of a teenager in it, and his moves were phenomenal. And then I think he appeared in Stanley Tong's China Strike Force with Mark Dacascos,
Okay.
and Coolio
Yeah.
and Aaron Kwok and that.
Mhm.
And he did another great fight scene, and it was more of a cameo as such. Nothing too serious, but still looked good. A lot less hair. Pretty much had a comb over in it, but
Oh dear.
unfortunately. Oh, here we go. Yes, set us up with another.
Oh, another fight. Happy days. Oh.
Reminds me of
Nice.
the disco fight in Romeo Must Die.
Yes. Which was fantastic, actually.
It was
Love
good
that she's
fun,
just
wasn't
like,
it?
girl, I got this.
But she is so like Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's sherbet dip.
It's sherbet dip, absolutely. That's some good sherbet.
Whoa, look at that.
Which we'll just put into the hot pot, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's probably laced with cocaine.
That wouldn't be your kind of meal right now, would it? In vegan mode?
No.
No, didn't think so.
No.
I was wondering what was wrong with his glasses. But
And
he's
so
got
did
them-
I, actually.
he's
I was
got
like,
them
what's
turned
happening
up.
here? I thought it was like a lighting thing. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? It's got his wee shades up.
Oh, you don't see them nowadays, do you? Really?
No.
Like, I don't see many people with them, that's for sure.
No. It's very older people. Like
Maybe.
back in the 90s, I would have seen, you would have seen them people like
I'm
clipping them
surprised
onto their glasses.
They didn't open, to the side so that they became some blinder.
Oh my god, here you're on to actually, you're on to something, George.
Or they were so magnetic to the frame that they could go any direction.
Yeah. Or if you wanted, not to have, the white
circle,
bits around,
yeah,
you
yeah,
could
yeah.
limb them down the way so that if you wanted to blind yourself,
You
get the
could-
UV
yeah.
straight into the
Just
the
tan your
cornea.
eyes. Bit of Trump.
Absolutely.
So I was going to say, yes, Kenny and I, when we were in Hong Kong, we ate out on the street like this.
Mm-hmm.
Best meal I think we had in Hong Kong, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious. It was incredibly cheap. It was big, like they were massive portions,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for around 5, 6 or 7 pounds, if even it worked out.
Wow.
I mean, friggin' incredible food. And I just noticed what they were drinking there. It didn't look like beer, but it looked like almost like a cold tea.
Mm.
And I remember them serving that. And so there was no charge. They just put a jug of this kind of cold tea in 2 cups. But you were literally sat in the middle of the street. And you see the wee rats coming out from the drain and running under the tables, kind of like just picking up the scraps, running back. It sounds disgusting, but it wasn't weird, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're sitting in the middle of a street in a dark
Yeah,
street.
in an alleyway.
You kind of got to expect these things. But I think it's something we
Stop
didn't do.
apple polishing me. Wow.
It's certainly not enough, or something it's certainly we didn't do enough of it. That's what I was trying to say. We should have ate out more on the streets, because I think that would have been much more of experience than going into restaurants as such.
It's getting more immersed in the culture because that's how they live.
Well,
you know.
I mean, it seemed to be, once
Same thing
the
in
shops
Japan,
all closed
you
down,
know.
they were all out.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was just a wee tiny cart.
Yeah.
Like they just rocked up with a wee cart and started cooking. She's quite beautiful, isn't she?
They're stunning girls. Stunning.
Wait. So I'm guessing that they're not, obviously they're out of the city, they're out in the sticks somewhere, or they're on the mainland. I can't remember that part of the story, that they think they've went out into mainland China or out kind of into the new territories,
Okay.
but they're definitely not in Hong Kong, as you can see.
Mhm.
I think they do go back into the city. I'm nearly sure there's a massive crazy turn, if I can remember correctly, that was a bit shocking. Oh, fuck.
Jesus fuck. Where'd that come from?
She was obviously in there taking more drugs when she said she wouldn't do it.
Silly bitch.
Oh, and then she's knocked her out, so she's going to go away with him to go deeper undercover.
Right, okay.
But she didn't want her to get into bother, so
Right.
she's kind of like helping her.
Oh.
Oh, fuck, look at this shit.
That is disgusting.
Here's some money. If you can
Take
get
that.
out of the rope, here's some money.
Exactly. I've tied you up probably very well.
And if nobody breaks into the toilet and takes your money and
Good
leaves
luck.
you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. They're definitely out of Hong Kong.
There is cup.
There is I mean, wouldn't you love to be one of these subtitle writers?
Yeah.
Really? And just make your own shit up?
Yeah. There is cup.
Although, I do think it would be fun to watch it with the English dub, to hear,
Yeah.
and with the subs on, just to see what the sub and dub versions
Yeah.
are. Is there going to be a wild difference, Look at that
So
cravat.
they're heading back to Hong Kong.
Yeah, and he's working with.
That is one
the
cravat,
cop.
all right, isn't it?
Yeah, there's only one other person I know wears a cravat like that, and it's my husband. Not when he's out with me; he's not allowed to wear it. Only in the bedroom. But also,
she's out of her ropes.
She's out of her ropes. But the guy he was talking to was, Chung's boyfriend, her boyfriend in Hong Kong.
Right.
The cop. So obviously there's a bit of dirtiness going on here.
For Cat 3, I'm not seeing so much of that in this
side,
than what I would have seen in like Ebola Syndrome or.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You know, that movie was fucking.
I think I should have led up to Ebola Syndrome with you because it is.
I mean, that was
one of the most
throwing
shocking.
me in right at the deep end.
It does kind of turn your stomach, doesn't it?
It'll never leave me. So this is rather tame by comparison, like, to be honest. Oh God, she's
swap clothes.
Sorry, excuse me.
But yeah, it's tame,
but
there's still some brutal stuff to come. I mean, if you think back though, what we have watched, there has been a couple of moments there where.
Well, certainly that's at the start there when she got out of bed and.
Yeah.
You know.
So we've got the sex.
Showed us right up into her throat.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got the sex, we've got the nudity, some violence, a couple of brutal deaths. Nothing too extreme yet. So
yeah.
There is toe dipping in the category 3 side of things, really, but again, this will take a turn.
Okay. Jesus.
I mean, it kind of feels like I thought it was Aer Lingus for a second.
I know, right?
Feels like it's kind of a regular Girls with Guns kind of action thriller at the moment. But no.
It's a good way of pulling somebody in, you know.
Yeah.
To this kind
of.
That was a choy on that. Doesn't
it?
But it really does.
It does. Yeah, but it's Korean. And again, now we're back in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then you've got David. Oh, so hopefully they're going to get caught up here. So the way they were waltzing in there, I'd imagine Danny Lee is usually in a role like that. Danny Lee from The Killer and City on Fire, things like that. He would always be leading the team in, you know, as the head cop. But Corey does a fine job. You know, he can deliver the seriousness when needed. Yeah, they're on the track. So they're obviously he's been a bit of a dirty cop working with Won Jin. But because Corey's lot have gotten word, they're kind of ruining their. Look how tiny he is. He looks like kind of a boy, really. I mean, I still wouldn't argue with him. Because I'd say those girls aren't tall, you know.
No.
And Corey himself is about the size of Jackie, and Jackie's smaller than me, I believe. So. Yeah, so of course David's now getting involved, making it look like he's not there for him.
Vancouver. Jesus Christ.
But I mean, there's no need for the needles, really.
No, that's.
Jesus.
We've already stunned you, and then we're gonna just dope you up with heroin here for the crack, literally.
Yep. Yeah, come on then. We've just nicked somebody's passport, but let's get you.
I mean,
we
haven't even checked the passport.
Well, quite clearly at a very different time.
Yes, right.
Obviously, somebody was
shitting on the walls.
I was going to say they were
the fucking filthiest plane I've ever seen in my life.
Gross.
That is humdingling.
I mean,
that must have been an old aircraft that they're using to film on, because ew.
It does look like shit in the walls. Oh dear God!
I'm just fucking right in the throat.
Yep. Oh, and then they inject them again with fucking needles. Oh. dear Lord.
Good God in heaven, like. Ooh, blue.
Oh, this must be the old airport at Hong Kong, which we never got to fly into, unfortunately. That's the one that you always seen the big planes coming over literally right over
the city.
The rooftops in the
Yes.
city. Yeah. Did they just left the girls on the plane?
I believe so. Yep.
Yes, I remember now. Again, it's been a while.
Drugs on them,
and probably taking their passports away.
now.
Oh, come on.
How did he get that on without anybody on that plane noticing?
Maybe when the lights were out. Again.
Maybe when they were scrubbing the walls.
Yeah. This is, again, certain things. Fucking hell.
Jesus, kicking the fucking family.
She's obviously excited that she got a role. Oh, yeah. So,
I love how she was speaking actually in English there.
Yeah.
And she's expected to understand what the hell she was
exactly. So that's what I was about to say. Some things you've got to take with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Right? If it was a Hollywood movie, they would be criticising it. They would be
Of
chopping it
course,
down
yeah.
on IMDb. They'd be like raking it and saying how terrible it is that actually happened. But for some reason, in a Hong Kong movie, you can kind of see past it.
Like, she's literally, you tell me now, and then she's like answering back in Cantonese, and oh my God.
Yeah, she's not even speaking English.
No.
Oh, it's all coming back to me now. So she's telling, yes, I am a police officer. That's my informant.
Yes.
Call Hong Kong and they'll confirm it. Well, because she's got nothing. Dun, dun. And this is what I mean about it starting to take a change, starting to take a turn.
Okay.
This is where it starts to get much harder for these girls, whereas it's been a bit of a fun ride for them in some respects. They're brutal. The Canadian cops are brutal.
Oh, they're in Canada, so they've arrived in Vancouver now.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting that they're going to America, so that's why they're speaking English.
Canada, though.
Of course. Canada, sorry, excuse me.
I mean North America.
Geographically, get it right.
Yeah, so now she's on the phone to David, who we know was dealing with Won Jin.
Yeah.
And of course, this wasn't an open relationship. This was very much an affair that she was having with him. But he's going to take the opportunity, obviously, to kind of like end that.
Yeah.
And not leave himself in trouble. I always, this kind of always got me when I was younger and watching it and thinking, why wouldn't he? You know, why wouldn't he be wanting to help her? And how easy it could be to get locked up if you forgot something important like your passport, or somebody just didn't believe you. And
were you overthinking? Yeah,
well, I was overthinking back then because I was just a teen. But you know what I mean? You kind of like...
Yeah.
That's fucking scary.
And he's literally just thrown her under the bus.
Yeah.
Absent without leave.
So as if she...
Do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Don't care.
As if she made the choice to take drugs on the plane, and...
He's,
there you go, so...
Yeah.
Kill
them as soon as possible.
Jeez, right.
Shit balls.
Boy's a deer. Oh, he's a rotten man. He's
dirty, rotten scoundrel.
As my granny would say, he's a rotter.
Rotter.
He's a rotter.
Or a Rottweiler.
What a lovely cell.
Oh my God.
A bit bigger than the Alcatraz cells. Just a bit.
Yeah. How come only one has food? She had hers. Come eat something.
Kill and eat. It's a thick wall, like, isn't it?
That is one massively thick. That's like the walls of my house.
That's
why I can never hear my neighbours, because the walls are that thick.
You're not digging through those.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, if my neighbour's house goes on fire, I'm fine, because I've got walls that thick.
I was going to say, they are, definitely safe, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. When are you going to realise, Lily? She's very... there's almost a Eurasian look to her.
There is, but you know, whatever they've done.
Kinda like
she
Maggie
has
Q.
the puffy eye. You know, like she's genuinely been crying a lot.
Yeah.
You know, there's.
But I think she is genuinely a beautiful woman.
Yes, but also a very incredible actress
Absolutely.
as well. You know, she's doing such a great job.
What was that? If there was a basin of water here, I will make him awake.
Mm-hmm. Don't understand.
Okay, so she's telling him she heard.
Yeah.
Yes. Is your policewoman realize? So now she's getting it.
She's realised she's been
left.
betrayed.
Yeah, she's left to rot. And that looked like quite a yummy dinner, actually.
That was a nice, like, little plate of fruit there.
There was quite a bit going on. Oh. Some nice lighting again there. Look, that key is massive. Oh, here's the big bitch.
Here comes Pam Greer's sister.
John Greer.
John Greer.
Oh.
Keep forgetting how close that is to my head. Many times I crack myself on that.
Put a pillow behind me. Again, nice to see an international move as well.
Yeah,
Shifting
absolutely, yeah.
So we've had Hong Kong, we've had mainland China, and now into Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
But again, why not? It's strange that even having a bit of that international side of it, why it didn't kind of cross the water, why it didn't become a bit more.
Mm-hmm. But again, it comes down to the advertising of it as well. You know, so you're advertising your film as a Cat 3. You know, anybody within. And plus, it's obviously it's not in English, so you know,
of course.
It's not obviously back then. It wasn't as common to have these films, kind of in cinemas and in places, you know, where we could go and see them. But now, you know, you think of like when Parasite came out, and you know, like all these new movies that we're going to see with subtitles, and it doesn't bother anybody anymore. You know.
Which is brilliant.
And it's brilliant, but that's the problem. No,
right?
Absolutely not.
It's not like they've only just started being made.
Which is the way people are acting at the moment. Like, oh my god!
Have you seen this new Asian
Oh my
movie?
God, Korea makes films now.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's like
what?
Hello.
Jesus.
But
it's like the same thing, like, oh my god, like, have you heard of Blackpink? What about like IU and like Boa and like who were in the 90s?
Everyone seemed to be surprised that this is a new thing, but
it's definitely not.
Jesus, I mean, there's nearly 40 years from I started watching Hong Kong movies, and you know, and yet I'm still not bored of them.
No,
and that says a lot, really.
And there's always new stuff to discover with them as well. 100%, you know,
I still haven't got half of what I want, you know. Oof, nice.
Those are some big bullets.
They're friggin' huge.
Oh, there we go. Here's
nice.
Right. Okay, violence.
Did
Black Betty just get shot?
She was put down.
Wow.
But what a great shot too.
That's it.
Oh, come on.
Come on,
this
bitch.
Is what we
right in the eyeball. Fucking yes.
Fled. This is what I mean about taking a turn. Now we're going to start to see things getting grittier.
Oof. Nice.
But I love this. I love this new scenery.
Yeah.
Like, it really just puts them as a massive fish out of water.
It does, yeah.
And again, look at the locals. And we can see two Chinese women with a shotgun getting chased by a car. They just wander on by there like it's nothing.
Vancouver's like, oh yeah, we see that every day.
I love that.
It's
cut
typical.
To the skip cardboard flat only.
Yeah.
Which is why we have so much cardboard here.
Exactly.
She's brilliant.
Nice. She's fantastic.
Friggin' wonderful as an action actress. Oh,
did she get shot?
Yep, she got shot.
Bugger. Nice.
Ooh.
Of course, because that would happen in real life, but I do love a good explosion.
Exactly. Every car exploded in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to live in the 80s and 90s because they blew everything up.
Absolutely.
Now they do it with CGI and it's awful.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate.
Just go and blow up a building like James Cameron did. Why not?
This is a pretty tight shot. Oh,
nice.
Jesus. They're keeping it real here.
They're keeping it real
Look
intense.
at this camera work, like it's
yeah,
just
it's
fucking
phenomenally
nerve-wracking.
edited actually as well. Like very, I love it.
Oh,
Oh yes, baby.
oh, nice. Oh, that's right. She
There's a
can't.
bit of a
She
cut
can't
there.
do the swimming.
She can't do the swim.
Yeah.
She's managing fine.
I mean, they were,
Fight or flight,
they were
that's
literally
it.
beside the grass there.
Fuck me, how long are they? Where are they swimming to?
Alcatraz.
Fucking Hong Kong? My God.
I
Are
mean,
they in San Francisco?
they've literally.
Are they, did they, there's no,
that's
okay,
fine.
I'm
They're still-
sorry.
They're still in Vancouver.
Oh my God, I was going to say, there's no fucking way that those two girls swam from Vancouver all the way to fucking
I
San
wouldn't. The amount
Francisco.
of sharks and great whites that
Really?
are in there.
I
No,
know.
not a chance.
I mean, I'm terrified of the water anyway, but I mean, there's just no physical way that they could have swum that. I'm sorry.
No.
Handcuffed to each other, they'd be dead.
Absolutely. And she was.
Sorry, I'm
bleeding.
taking this very,
was
very.
ble-
I'm really getting into this now.
I'm like saying earlier, take it with a pinch of salt. But they couldn't swim that. And of course, she was bleeding to death.
Of course she was.
Maybe they'll stick that.
The salt
down.
water, say salt water heals everything.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a nice blanket.
You've got
she had.
psoriasis, salt water.
Look at that aspirin. I thought they were like sweeties.
I'm not paying for this shit.
Oh, it's good that you picked the Chinese salesman. Though.
Absolutely, because he understands.
Corning drugs.
Corning drugs.
Corning drugs.
It's meant to be like corner drugs.
It possibly was corner drug. Possibly
But it was like Corning.
Corning drugs.
Corning drugs.
Yeah.
So someone in Vancouver said, "Oh, we call them a corner drugstore,"
Yeah.
and then they've heard Corning, and then they've written the sign Corning drugs.
Oh, God.
They grow them
God.
like corn.
Yeah, like corn.
A big beautiful fire.
Beautiful fire, but great shot
Mm-hmm.
as well.
That's a shot. Lovely band.
Yeah.
Sensational lighting
Oh,
that the-
man. Yeah, I remember this now.
Are
This
they
is-
going to try and rape her, or
You're just too good. Look at that great
I'm
shot.
just too good? I know.
That's
I've
fantastic.
uh,
Look at doggy.
dog. Oh my God!
I told you it was going to get a bit. Fuck.
They just kicked its head off.
Yeah,
What in the name of sweet fuck?
that's them Canadians for you. Uh-oh.
Terrence.
Yeah.
One of them's bound to be called Terrence.
Could you imagine?
Jesus, they just literally killed that dog.
They just didn't give a fuck about the
They
dog.
did. No, that
And
was
quite clearly the same with her.
with her. Yeah, they're just like, oh yay.
I mean, I'm actually just hooked on the lighting.
The lighting's phenomenal.
It's beautiful.
I mean, how do we make one of the most aggressive and yeah, okay,
I mean, it's
one of the most aggressive and the most horrific things to happen to somebody? How do we make that look pretty?
absolutely.
Here we get a little fire.
Little-
We got
yeah.
some blue lights.
A nice
and,
blanket.
Yeah.
Is that a ship on throw right there? Oh, fuck me.
Oh. Whoa. George, you just said.
I know, I told you it was going to get worse.
Whoa.
Jesus wept. Well, he just threw it on in there, didn't he?
He did. He didn't even waste any time pulling his trousers down. He
Nope.
just rammed it in. They're all very
Oh.
quick, aren't they?
They're very quick because they keep changing, like,
Mm-hmm.
brutal, like,
Horrifying thing to see. Like,
beautifully lit too.
yeah, stunningly, but actually, like,
I can't.
I'm actually loving like the flashing pylons and everything. I've got to say,
Yeah.
not that we endorse raping anybody, just FYI,
Especially with
it's-
beautiful lighting.
It's not, but when you have stunning lighting,
Oh,
it makes
fuck.
it easier to.
They're still fucking her. So she's like, obviously, because.
So she's, of course, she understood. So she's literally told them in
Come and-
Cantonese, "Come and rape
Yeah.
me," and they know exactly what she's saying.
Yeah. Because she was a prostitute,
Yeah,
she's kind of been through that, in a sense. So knows if she takes that away from her, there's more of a chance of her escaping.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes!
Crowbar to the dick. Oh,
Nice.
she's brilliant. She
Fantastic.
is brilliant, and she looks beautiful.
She's a phenomenal. She looks stunning,
Yeah.
and she's a phenomenal mover. Like so
Oh,
much,
fuck.
incredible.
Wonderful. And again, fighting with nothing on, like
It again,
falling,
it's
hurting.
not it's not something that
oh, beautiful.
could
Oh,
say-
right up the minge there.
is
you
her
see that?
knickers off.
Yep.
Oh my god, so she really is fighting with literally nothing on. Wow.
Boom. But wow, I mean, again,
I mean, I've just got to commend her for actually having the courage to do that. Because some of these shots are incredibly invasive.
absolutely. Oh shit. It's like fish in a barrel. Oh, nice cutaway.
Yeah, that was a nice cutaway, actually.
I mean, for all the wrong reasons, but still, it was.
Mhm.
But what a scene,
Wow,
right?
that's incredible. That was
Like, it's intense.
incredibly intense. I actually am loving what
Look
they've
at
done
this.
here. This is
Yeah.
stunningly shot.
I mean, for me, one of the most underrated actresses in Hong Kong cinema. So she
Teresa?
is Tamara.
Yeah, or Tamara.
Or you can call her Teresa if you want.
I'll call her Tamara because that's her actual name, so...
But absolutely, totally robbed of an amazing career.
Absolutely.
Maybe that was her choice. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to ask Mike later, see if he knows anything else about her.
Mm.
But I think she deserved a lot more. Like, this is a fantastic showpiece. For
Is this something, I mean, is this, I think I've maybe asked you this question before, but I'm not sure, but was it a common thing that, like, oh, she's landed, oh, was she raped over the nail? And that was, like, digging
That
into
was a
her?
big screw.
That's what I mean, like, was it
Yeah,
digging right into
it
her?
must have. Yeah, it's obviously pulled.
Oh, ripped her, oh, Jesus.
This is
Look,
so
fucking hell.
Intense. Like,
Wow.
both of them wrapped in a tarp.
Is it one of those, like, was a common thing that, I mean, if you were in one of these films that, you know, and you did kind of show that amount of flesh, you know, as a woman, that you were considered a pornographic actress?
100%.
Even though it's not real sex.
No,
in
100%. Even if it was a Cat 3 thriller, it wasn't done as a sex comedy or a sex film. It was, you know,
so you appear in
basically,
this
it's a crime.
category of a film, it's criminal?
Yeah, you basically
Wow.
were. No, I don't mean. I mean, this is a crime thriller.
Oh, right, yes, sorry.
And what the sex side of it is a crime. But for the actresses, it was seen as they were looked down upon because they kind of just bared a bit too much flesh. So they did. And it's such a friggin' shame. Because it's kind of the only way a lot of actresses in Hong Kong got into the business.
Listen, it's a lot. It's a way
So
that
did.
a lot of actresses get into the business. I mean, you look at how a lot of people start, and you look back at, like, career, you know, people who started off in their career and some of the things that they were asked to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Elizabeth Berkley is a perfect example. She does Saved by the Bell. She wants to get away from Saved by the Bell and takes on Showgirls.
Yes.
The film becomes an NC-17. It gets trashed by the critics, and then her career never fully recovers from it.
Yeah.
But a lot of actresses will do nude scenes in films to get, like, Margot Robbie did it in The Wolf of Wall Street. It worked out well for her, and now she's able to choose and decide whether or not she wants to do nudity on
She's
camera.
doing very, very well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be that, like, expected of women to be able to just take their clothes
Seen
off and be
as a real actress if they can bear,
Absolutely.
if they can bear themselves.
yes.
Yeah.
And there's me saying it's a very courageous
She's-
thing to do.
Again,
This is a wonderful acting. Like, I'm saying, it's very courageous
call home.
for them to bear so much. I mean, I suppose it's not really. They're doing their job,
Yeah.
you know. So it's not courageous at all. But a man would not do that
But-
unless it's
oh,
Viggo
absolutely
Mortensen
not.
and Eastern Promise.
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's very true.
This is wonderful.
Look,
This is
think even
incredible.
wonderful, just wonderful. But I think for them, I mean, can you imagine going for that role, auditioning for that, and they're like, well, you're going to have basically 2 or 3 fights where you're absolutely buck naked, and she's gorgeous, and you're going to be spreading out everything, and you're going to be, you know, taking hits and falls on the floor with no padding on, because when she's naked, she's nothing to protect her.
Yeah.
I think Corey Yuen should have backed her more for other roles.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, what a shame. What a shame.
But it's just the level of intensity and the dramatic parts of this
Yeah,
film.
and she is a fantastic actress. So she's just thieving as a hooker rather than sleeping.
Stealing to protect her friend.
Yeah.
Or help her friend get better.
Very similar to what, not the reason why, but very similar to what Lola Forner did in Wheels on Meals. The girl that hung around with Jackie and Samuel and all.
Yes.
She would do that. She would pose as a prostitute, then rob them. So this could be a turning point for her in her story and her life, where she's dropping the drugs and she's got her hair all chopped. Yeah. Huh. I mean, it's not Lady Reporter where Cindy's hair changed so much in every other scene, but there's been a few moments of hair changing, and I'm wondering, is that going back maybe when the filming was done, especially with her? Remember, she had the short hair at one point.
Yeah.
Was it a wig, or did they go back and kind of do a filler scene to add to that? Because I know that's why Cindy's hair changed in Lady Reporter, because Corey Yuen was brought in to direct extra scenes.
Right, okay.
And took her from China O'Brien while they were shooting that. Brought her in to kind of like do a couple of extra scenes, and you can see her hair kind of going up and down or curling, or I'm wondering there's maybe a couple of wee reshoots in this. And like, again, this is why I feel that this would be wonderful to have a Blu-ray release of, to be able to get some extra features on there of audio commentaries and things like that, and to learn a lot more about it, because I feel it is a very well made and strong movie. Yeah, back in Hong Kong, here we go. But again, what a trip around, Vancouver stage was pretty rough.
Vancouver stage was intense.
Now these ladies are ready for some revenge.
Happy days.
Did you ever see Naked Killer?
With Maggie Q?
No, that's Naked Weapon. That's like the follow-up. So Naked Killer was Ching Miyu, Carrie Young, Simon Yam. Fantastic film. Perhaps hailed as a better movie than it is, but still an amazing Catherine movie that really set this trend of vengeful women and lesbian hit women.
Yeah.
We'll do that one, because it is absolutely worth checking out. Oh, this is where it gets fucking brilliant fun with the action. Although it has been. Don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of fun with.
I love that they've straightened her hair. It looks stunning.
That's what I mean. They've now got a new surge of power. They've got this. They're just sort of filled with vengeance, I suppose. Right in the pisser.
They've reached their fuck it moment, haven't
they? Bullshit. She looks good with the short hair too, doesn't she? Kind of less Bridget Lynn though.
With the shorter hair?
With the shorter hair, yeah. How strange. And Bridget Lynn had short hair for a long time. It was probably just her younger roles and younger days where she had that long curly hair.
What a liar.
Oh,
sorry, not George. George is not.
I'm not lying. About the man on the David. Yes, all the beggars in Chinatown where you were.
Because they know.
Yeah.
Instead of asking the authorities who knew where they actually were. Christ above.
Again, though, is the translation there? Really?
I'm loving the translation because it's so comical.
There is some fun moments.
Fabulous.
Doesn't she? She is.
Sorry, but I can't get over how amazeballs she looks.
Yeah. I want to see this in 4K.
Yes.
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, hello.
Beat his fucking shit in. He allowed you to be raped by like 8 men.
I mean, Jesus, that was rough.
I mean, he didn't allow. Well, he didn't allow
no, but he didn't
but he
help
didn't
her
help
either.
her out. So.
For you, I've dumped my family. No, you got caught.
Don't believe him, Hung. Do not believe him.
I know you couldn't come all that way back. Get your health back.
Nah. Do blow his fucking head in.
Oh, she's ruthless.
She is ruthless. I'm so.
No, I love him too much. Oh, come on, lady. Get off your knees.
Yeah.
She's great.
There's such a, I mean, you can, it's like over the years you can see this like tradition of, you know, even in literature and everything, you know, women being represented as strong, but then weak and strong and weak. And there's like, yes, okay, it's like the kind of like the emotions, we all have it. So there's times whenever anybody can go through those stages of, you know, grief and strife and
Yeah.
uncertainty and power and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be so fucking typical of them to portray women, like
that.
especially when it comes to men in particular.
Yeah.
They will portray women as like these real strong, badass, kick-ass women, which is so empowering, but yet willing to sacrifice himself for a man who's betrayed them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this contradiction.
Exactly.
Because women aren't always like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so strange. Is that just something that's become, look at that look that she just gave there was incredible.
So excited.
But is that something that's just become so ingrained from like, you know, like 17th century literature right up until today that it's like they have to?
It's almost like regardless of how tough they are, the man will always still come out on top as
Absolutely.
the hero, as the reason, as the person that makes them choose their decision, and that should not be, of course. And I really hope, I can't remember how this end fight pulls off, but I really hope that a man doesn't come in to rescue them.
No, and I really hope not to, because we've seen so many of these films, these Girls with Guns movies, where the men do not come in to save them, and that's what I love about Asian cinema.
Especially
is that while there is that kind of, we're weak and submissive and, you know, we'll do whatever we can for our man, we're going to come back and we're gonna take ownership of our shit.
Sorry, I just noticed in the background there, behind her, one of Jackie's guys from his stunt team. Which is good, and again, it's obviously someone.
She's had her eyebrows threaded.
She has, and I mean, they've went through shit. They have went through the worst of the worst. They have to look their best for the end battle. They have to.
100%.
And she certainly does.
It's like whenever you go out and you like see your ex, you don't want to look like shit.
Yeah.
You actually want to look your fucking very best.
I haven't had an ex for nearly 12 years, but I know.
But you know what you mean.
I know what you mean. I always brush my
and you're
hair
like, shit.
I'm going out there just in case I see someone.
I said my rags.
Oh dear Lord. So, I'm trying to look out for this guy to show you. I think his name's Chung. Oh, they're all out of focus. But you would probably recognize him as one of the pirates, more so in Project A.
Right,
things like that. But it's good to know that he's there, and kind of gets me excited for this end fight, because there's going to be some great stunt work, I know, and feel it. And of course, the likes of Corey Yuen, Samo.
Her whole attitude has just changed.
Yeah.
Like from where she was at the beginning of this film, like intense, you know, emotional, unstable, to like focused.
Absolutely 100% confident that
she's in it. Yeah. She's like, I know that no matter what, whether it costs me my life, this shit's gonna go down. And I'm obsessed.
Let them kill themselves. Yeah. Great shot.
Yeah, love it.
Oh. I mean, there's certain movies that Corey Yuen-Kwai has done that I just question. What were his choices? Why the fuck did he direct a piece of shit like this?
Yeah.
And there are other movies that are incredibly done, and I wonder why hasn't this got a bigger following?
Yeah.
You know? And he gets praised for worst work. Bizarrely.
Yeah, it's unusual because most directors do get praised for worst work, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like Romeo Must Die, again, not a great film by any means. A dreadful action choreography in it, in terms of it's too over the top with the wire food and all that kind of thing. There's hardly any wire work in this.
Doesn't look like there's any wire work in it, apart
from
maybe that drop in the bamboo
scaffolding,
fight. Yeah.
But for me, this is much more exciting than Romeo. But again,
because there's a rawness to it, and that's a lot of these, a lot of films that you've showed me over the last number of years that I'd never ever seen before. It is that's what the stuntwork is all. It's what word am I looking for? George, help me out here, because it's all very
real.
Yeah.
It's real. That's the thing. It's not, we're so, I think we're just, at the moment, especially with Hollywood movies, there's so much
I mean, in these films, they're connecting.
quick fire editing,
Yes.
CGI especially,
Yes.
and safety. There's too much safety.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like this is raw. It's real.
Yeah.
And it works. There's actually quite a few guys I've seen here from Jackie and Samo's movies, which is brilliant to know. Yes, that's good.
Two
When you run out of
bullets,
bullets,
yeah.
it's wonderful.
Why bring
There's
out
Benny.
gun?
So this guy here who just got hit in the back of the
Yeah.
head, Benny Lai, he was the mute guy in Police Story 2 that was kicking Jackie's ass with the explosives and stuff. Oh, sweet. Look at this.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, and always looks great in slow-mo.
Yeah, always. They love their slow-mo, don't they?
Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
I mean,
nice.
Who needs guns? There shouldn't need to be guns in
No,
these kind of
whenever.
movies.
Good
I'm glad they get rid of them quick. Oh, fuck. Beautiful.
The fight choreo is
Beautiful.
phenomenal.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
and there's
just popped.
It literally popped,
Yeah.
didn't it? But what a great set piece as well.
That's a I'm actually really loving the set piece here.
I'm trying to see
There's an awful lot going on, which is what I love
Yes.
about it. There's so much for them to work with. Okay, so they've got scaffold, they've got rocks, they've got
It's like a Tomb
cars.
Raider
It
setup,
is.
isn't it? I'm trying to think, has it maybe been an old movie set that they've reused? Because they did that with Lady Reporter. They went back to the Dragons Forever set and they did a fight scene in there.
Imagine if it was the set from, what do you call that one with Gong Li, where the plane crashes into
a Terracotta Warrior.
Yes.
That was about 4 years earlier, maybe 4 or 5 years earlier. I would have went with Moon Warriors. The Andy Lau movie directed by Sammo Hung. I feel with different lighting and darker lighting. Beautiful. Just I can't even concentrate.
Incredibly
because
confident.
they're
I know, incredibly
they're so
confident
amazing.
mover.
Oh,
Nice.
Jesus. Oh.
Okay, bitch, come on.
Fuck. Forgot how ruthless he was with these kicks on them.
And that sweat is probably 100%
But just-
authentic as
Absolutely.
well. There's no need for spray bottles in Asia whenever you're working
Beautiful.
so damn hard.
What a showdown.
Fantastic.
And he is a hard bad guy to kill. Oh, please don't save them.
I'll be really disappointed.
He's the bulletproof vest,
Yeah.
right?
Disappointed if he does.
Oh, in the name of all that's mighty. Oh, oh!
Yeah.
Damn
Say
you, bitch.
you should never have trusted him again.
Bit of the Bridget coming back there. Oh, I can't believe that. But not saving them, really.
No.
Getting rid of them all. Oh, she's been tortured, right?
This woman's going to be in therapy for years.
I know, right? When you think about it.
That's why she's never made a movie since. She's still in therapy.
Oh!
I'll not.
Oh!
Yes!
Nice.
Tamara is
Oh!
fantastic. Blow his
Right in the
deck
deck.
off. Blow his deck off.
Do it! Do it!
Why not?
But again, what a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't listen to his bullshit.
No, you've fallen for it twice.
Oh, do it! Yeah!
Yes!
Right in the deck. Oh. Oh, oh, oh,
There's a
oh.
bullet in the deck.
Oh, we should
Go on, just do it. Yes.
Sorry, we're so silent watching this because we're so like intently.
I'm gripped.
We're just like, oh. I mean, this for me, in terms of women in action, this is better than Black Cat. I think it's better.
Which I've never seen.
You've never seen. We'll get
No.
into that. And its wild sequel, Black Cat 2, which bankrupted the company and closed its doors.
Whoa.
But it was still a lot of fun. I don't know why. They made it worse. But, you know, things like that. I feel that there's still a lot more in this. Even Naked Killer, I would say that for me, this is a much more
Consistent
and stronger movie than Naked Killer. For sure.
I have to say that fight choreography there in that final scene was...
His penis is over.
Is that what he just said
He
there?
says, his penis is over.
I'm glad to see it's not like, what was the one we watched where the girl ended up on the
Angel
traffic
Terminator.
lights, yes, and they all died at the end.
Yeah, that was a bit of a wild scene.
That was
wasn't
great.
It?
But I'm glad to see that the women are not being killed here. You know, they're like, let's go.
And they've kind of come out of this like, oh, there we go. That was it. We just drive away. And
But that's it. Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's Women
wow.
on the Run. Again, guys, if you've joined us for this, thank you very much. It was brilliant watching it again. I would say
sensational first watch for me coming back.
10 years. Oh, yeah.
Well, how long have I been away? 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
And to come back for
this. We can't
this.
even blame COVID.
No, we can't blame COVID. We just blame busy lives.
But again, I wanted something that was going to kind of like be different and be exciting. We could have put on any Jackie Chan movie and had a laugh with it. We could have put on any other thing that we've watched before. But I wanted this to be kind of a wee
This
bit
was
fresh
a
and different.
fantastic comeback film for me.
Absolutely.
Because it's given me the kind of
excitement to get
excitement
back in
again,
and watch
and
it again.
yeah, absolutely. So
yay! Well, let's do more. Thank you very much for watching. This is Invincible Asia. This is Mark. I'm George. And yeah, if you've managed to make it all the way through, you've done very, very well.
Yes.
So until next time, we'll be back with another movie. So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram at InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.